Okay, and here we go. Hey guys, hopefully you can all hear me. If you can, just say something in the chat so I can see that it's live and everybody's hearing what I'm saying. So that would be great. There we go. All right, I'm just going to type it in there. Can everyone hear me? There we go. Ah, perfect. Okay. Hey, welcome everybody. I really am excited that you're here. This is just an amazing celebration for all of us because, of course, nobody can do this in isolation. You can't get out here and just be, get on YouTube and, just achieve these targets without all of the community that you try to build. And by the way, we have built an amazing community. I have seen the comments there and have just watched so many folks interacting with one another in an amazing way, and it is really such a positive environment, and I can't be any more pleased, and I really owe it to everybody out there. We did this together, that is no doubt. Hey, and I brought a little coffee as well. But I forgot to put my cinnamon in there. Oh well. All right, so let's see who's in the house with us today. All right, I'm just going to go through the chat. And if I miss you guys, don't think it's because I don't care about you, because I do care. It is just these chat, this little chat bot that comes up. The chats go really quick. And so sometimes I have to page back to see them. And I see Peter Pan's in here, John Phileas, you're in here, TS and MS. Good morning to everybody. Chocolate Tobler, Darren Collins, Brandon Busby, George Scott. We got you in there, GK. And we got Just Blaze. Hey, that's a really neat handle. I like that. Sir Photography. There's another cool one there. And we got I think it's AHLL1. And hey, welcome. Jason, one of my great guys. I really love the comments I see you put on there, man. You're just doing amazing. Thank you, Jason. R Woods, we got Rick Stiggers and Blake Fox, Clayton Bomer. I believe I pronounced that right. Paul Muscle. Hey, that's a strong name right there, man. And then we got Paul D. Didu. I'm going to say that. I hope I'm pronouncing in these correct, guys. John Taylor. Let's see here. Let me go down. Charlie Evans. Hey, boom. Look, you were one of my best cheerleaders, I'll have to say. I really appreciate those comments when you're cheering me on. That was really great. Super Chris, T666. Hey, from Ireland. Wow, my son was over there in Ireland for a good while. And you know what? He went over there with his wife. They quit their job, spent 6 months going through the EU. Well, while they were going through the EU, they ran out of dough. And so he's tagging along with his guitar. He starts busking on the streets in Ireland. It was the Republic of Ireland. And needless to say, he started earning some pretty good coin. And so by and by, a shop, like a pub owner, said, hey man, I need somebody to come out and do my Friday and Saturdays. Would you, come and do a couple? He said, oh yeah, sure. So by and by again, some people came to those, the pub, and they were doing a wedding. So he got booked it was just crazy. This kid was just starting to make, and finally Ireland's like, okay, bud, you got to go because your time's up over here. So they ended up leaving there. And I think they went over to Zagreb. Because, of course, with the EU, you could travel around, and they spent 6 months over there. So Ireland, that's really cool. I'd love to go. All right. And I've had other kids. That's the one kid. Other kids have been over there. Let me just take a look. Gary and Bo, living the lifestyle. Yay, that's a great one. Through cash flow. Why not, right? That's awesome. All right. Kenneth Toomey. Goku 200. 1-5. That's awesome. Steve B, you're in the house. Billy Bob. Hey, I love those names, man. Like Jimmy John, Billy Bob. Those are always, I think they're great names. Henry Lou. You know Aces Up, or Geno Aces Up. I think that's it. But hey, are you from Vegas? Martez Ramirez. Edward English. All right. Sunny. That is awesome. Hey, thanks, John. Appreciate that so very much. Seasider's in the house. We got Last. Crypto G is in the house. Bodo Sheffield is in the house. Let's keep going here. Turgay Holland is in the house. Kodakor is in the house. Checkers B. Glenn Scona. Mental Ill Boy. Well, I know that's probably your name, but hopefully that's not your situation. But hey, it's cool. Last Crypto. So hey, guys. I am so excited that you're all here. We've got some great things that we're going to talk about and share. And hey, look, like always, if you've got questions, let's just go over them. This is a great opportunity to get some of those questions because, you know, it is really crazy sometimes in the comment section of the channel to answer all the questions because, you know, by and by, you'd end up doing 2-3 paragraphs. Plus, with the volume of comments and great comments at that, it is so difficult to get to them all. So this is a great format. Now, having said that, I may have to scroll back up to get those questions all in there answered. But hey, and I see, Carlos, you got that question up. I'm going to get to it in about 1 second here. I wanted to say about the comments before we move on. You guys have seen them all, and I've seen them all, like multiple spamming comments, all these WhatsApps, Telegrams, blah, 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 blah. I don't use any of those, so those of you that are wise enough to know, that is not me, absolutely for sure. But just the other day, and I go in, by the way, guys, about twice a day to clean those up, and just the other day, somebody went in there and they dropped them on every comment and reply down to the tune of like 3 or 4 days. So you know what I did? I went in there. It took me at least 2.5 hours. I cleaned them all up. But what I did after that is I moved all comments to review. But as you can see, I have been, you know, approving comments really fast. So it's much, much easier for me to go in and to review comments and just go click, 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 and approve all the comments. And by the way, if you disagree with me, those comments get approved. Absolutely. I had some guy going in there, hey, XRP is the scam of all scam. Approve that comment. Why? Hey, I don't have any issues with someone coming in having a different point of view than what I've got. That is perfectly okay. The ones that don't make it through, guys, are the ones where they're telling people that they're this or that, or really down, making people look, you know, really being bad on people. Instead of, you know, talking about the argument, they start talking about the person, and those ones don't make it through. But definitely all those WhatsApps and scams, no way. Now, let's just take a look back here at Carlos's question. He says, David, congratulations on the 10K subs. Thanks, Carlos. And like I say, guys, we enjoy this together. We all did it. Okay, your videos help me remember how lucky we are, even know about XRP ISO 2022 and all the other things that go along. Oh, hey, I thought you had a question there, but thank you so much, Carlos. That was just really precious. I genuinely appreciate that. Guys, affirmation is one of those things in life that, you know, we all need, no matter how far up the chain we think we are or whatever. And I don't care who you are. You could be like, you know, a billionaire like Donald Trump. We all need affirmation. That's part of how we're knit together as human beings. But the greatest thing about words is this, in my view anyway. Words really don't cost you that much. And positive, encouraging words of affirmation don't cost that much. But do they ever pay the most amazing dividends? And if there's people in your life that you haven't, you know, kind of touched base with in a while, but, you know, they're on your mind, whether it's brother, sister, mom, dad, you know, kids, especially in your, you know, nucleus family, go out there and make sure that they know that you think about them. I would say that because you're sowing seeds, man. You're sowing seeds. And every time you do that again, you put a little water on it. You're going to watch those relationships just explode with growth. At least that's been my experience. All right, let's see. We got Jakari Hunt in the house here. Arthur Mack is in that from Kansas City, Missouri. Hey, I have an auntie out there that is a professor at the University of Kansas. So now I don't know if that's not Kansas City. That's actually the state of Kansas. So hey, you know what? Give me a break. No, I'm serious. Yeah, that's awesome. You know, I moved down here in October. Give you a little bit of background. So on October 12th of 2021, I moved to the United States. Now my wife and our children, they're all dual. But for me, you know, I was a Canadian citizen. And at present, I am a United States permanent resident. And I can't tell you just how happy I am to be here. I'll tell you a little story. So we shipped all of our things down and we had our house bought and everything like that. And my wife and I were up there waiting for our invitation. It just took forever to come. And when we finally got it, and I'm crossing the border, I had to import my car. And by the way, this was my dream car that I bought with my crypto gains, and I was not going to leave that sucker behind. So anyway, I was going to drive down. I get in there, I do all the paperwork, and I had to pay duty on the car. So I walk up to the wicket to pay the duty. And the guy's behind the counter, okay, yeah, give me your slip. So I give him my slip. Excuse me there. Give him my slip. And then I said, the guy said, you know what? These are the first taxes that I've ever paid to the United States government. And I can't tell you just how happy I am to do it. And the guy's looking at me like, what? I mean, I was so filled with joy to be able to retire and move down to Texas. And a dream really came to reality. And for me, that was life changing, and all happened because of crypto, believe it or not. Now let's just take a look here. Hey, I got Fat Farmer in the house. Our Hawks is in the house, and I'm not sure if I caught you, Glenn Sakona there. Scott Steele. Hey, appreciate that, Scott. That's really amazing, and I appreciate all you guys give back as well. Atco Deluxe. In the future, will we be able to lend XRP to the banks for a fee? I believe we will. Absolutely. It'll be like that. I think there will be mechanisms to that. Now, how that will work? Man, I don't know how that will work. Let's just take a look here. ISO is just a messaging standard the banks are going to. Let me just see. I want to get that one, Kenneth. ISO is just a messaging standard that banks are going to start using, like a new language. Ripple is capable of speaking language. That's it. Hey, that's not it. And if you want to take a look and see just how this will work, in fact, messaging standards. So let's say, for instance, you're using the current system Swift. Now, obviously, when you go in and you transfer money using like overseas, what happens with Swift is a message goes out. Now, that message precedes the sending of your funds, right? And, of course, the funds follow. Now, that whole nostro-vostro thing adds liquidity to that process. The SWIFT system is just sending the message. Now, the funds are credited and debited from the nostro-vostro accounts. In the new ISO 222 messaging standard, you're not just sending a message that says, hey, this much, expect this much to arrive, credit it to this account, it's coming from this guy over here, going to this guy over. It's not that. You're not only transferring a message, you're actually transferring in the digital asset itself. You're transferring value. That's what is so amazing. And that's why with on-demand liquidity, you can vacate nostro-vostro accounts and remove all that money because the value is being transferred instantaneously along with the messaging. And that is paramount. It's programmable. It can hold value. It can hold assets and any asset in that value. And that is what is so mesmerizing when you get into the technology. It is crazy. So, hey, I understand, Kenneth. That is a good question. That's great thinking. But it's way, way more than just what the current system is by sending a message. I hope that helps a lot. Now, there's folks out there that could explain it 1,000 times better than I could explain it. So, hey, Scott, you know what, Scott? I saw last time on our last live stream that you had a question. And I think it had to do is if you have $10 million, how would you invest it right now? And I didn't get to your question. And so I'm so happy you got this one here. If I had $1 million, how would I divide it up between the coins except XRP? Well, that makes it tough because, of course, if I had $1 million to invest in XRP, that's probably where mine would go. So this is how I would do it. Now, diversification is big for me. But if you spread yourself too thin, it's kind of like putting butter over, just, bread and too many slices, you're not going to hardly taste anything. So I only limit myself to 10 projects. And so when I look at doing these things and I break them down, I would break them down into percentages. So now, I want you guys to know something. I am not a non-Bitcoiner. I actually think Bitcoin is going to hold value going forward. Am I a Bitcoin maxi? Absolutely no way. But if I had $1 million, I would start breaking it down in percentages. Now, for me, I would probably be putting at least 50% into the ISO 222 tokens because of the future use and value. I mean, for me, I've got those four things, right? So I've got, has to have a real world utility, right? In the real world right now, has to have an amazing management team, strategic partnerships globally, and then I take a look at the price action. And some of these are just ripe, ready to absolutely explode. So in the ISO tokens, of course, outside of XRP, you've got XLM, you've got Hedera Hashgraph, you've got Quant, you've got Algorand, and those and the like. So for me, I would definitely be putting at least, well, 40, maybe even 50% into those tokens. Now that already takes up, what, about 5 of the 10 that I would have. Now, outside of that, I'm going to look for later ones that are big. So I would probably put another 10% at least into Cardano. And I love Cardano. Cardano was one of my biggest gainers. I was buying it at 4 cents and I watched it go to $3.10. And listen, I sold half my position. I did not sell at all. And I've been accumulating and staking since that time. And so even now my bag is pretty full for Cardano. And at the price it is today from when I bought the majority of my bag, I'm still up 700-800%. That is mind-boggling when you think about it from a traditional standpoint. So I would put about another 10% in Cardano. I'd probably put another 10% into Ethereum, right? So now we're at 7. I'm going to put about 20% into Bitcoin, right? So now we're at 8, right? And then I'm going to choose some outliers. And the ones I like are primarily oracles. And so I would choose Chainlink, right? And I would probably put at least 10% into, so where am I at here? Now, if I only have 10% left, because I think I'm at my, I'd have to divide that up and I would put, 5% into Chainlink. If I'm getting my math wrong, forgive me, but I'm just doing it this way. So about 5% in the Chainlink. And then I might put the other 5% into Band. Now that's how I would do it. That's not financial advice. You're just asking me if I had to divide it up, how would I do it? Hey, Scott, I hope that got you because last time I missed you. And you know what? I even went on the chats to see if I could find you and respond to you personally, but I wasn't able to do it. So, hey, I'm glad you got back to me on that one. Okay. In the future, will we be? Yeah, I saw that there. Okay. Oh, hold on. I saw one there. Snowball. I love XRP. Thanks for making the vids. I found it 2 years ago. Yeah, XRP is amazing. I got into XRP back in the C dump. That's when I got into it. And I have consistently been accumulating even up to right now. Just in this dip, I bought XRP. You better believe it. Now, of course, being in the United States, I had to go kind of a weird way about it. So what I do sometimes is I'll go and I'll buy, like on Kraken or Coinbase or one of those, let's say I'll buy some XLM, I'll move it over to KuCoin or something like that. And then I just convert it into USDT, whatever the trading pair is, and I pick it up that way. And by the way, guys, when I buy that stuff, right after my trade's done, into the cold storage wallet she goes, that's for sure. So that's how I did that. All right, let me just take a look. Yes, Chocolate Tobler, many non-US banks are going live this weekend with the new messaging standard. They are. This is coming fast and furious. Look, if you've been watching my videos just on XRP in the last bit, you can see we are seeing so much activity in this XRPL ecosystem. As of late, it is truly crazy. It is a flurry of activity almost every day. And sometimes I've seen some days where by the hour, we were getting certain things coming out, like this is happening, that's happening. And of course, that USDS, I'm telling you, that speaks to me something big is going on there because XRP Ledger has been in existence for 13 years. Now, I want you guys to think about this. How many USD peg stablecoins are there? There are a bunch out there, and they have been released on almost every platform that there is practically, except there's never been one before on the XRP ledger. Now, knowing how the XRP ledger works, 72 million ledgers closed, not one being missed in 13 years. Why on earth would there not have been a USD stablecoin issued on the XRP ledger, considering what it's made for? You can literally convert any asset on the XRP ledger into a tokenizable asset. I'm telling you, something's up. And to me, I don't know exactly what it is, of course, but it is there. So let me just take a look. I got, yes, I see that Snowball Exodus app lets you buy XRP easily. And you know what? I have done some swaps on my ledger as well. I've done that too. All right, let me just take a look here. Douglas Farrag's in the house, and he's asking, can you comment on custodial care of XRP and when that might happen? You know what? I think this is going to be a major issue from regulators going forward, and I believe it's for this reason. In the current environment that we're in, you know, when it comes to the rank and file of folks, now most folks do not use legal structures in a way that could insulate them from, you know, personal liability. Most of us aren't trained to do that. We don't understand it, and we don't think that we have enough net worth in order to, you know, validate doing it, right? So we don't set legal structures up in a way that, for instance, if our, you know, delinquent kid jumps in the car and comes home drunk and doesn't drive in the driveway but smashes into the neighbor's front porch window or something like that, you know, if you're insulated, well, they can sue and get whatever the insurance will pay, but beyond that, they're not going to get anything, and that's legal structures. Now, having said that, those legal structures that, insulate you from liability. But most folks don't have that. So what's that mean? That means any securities that they hold, all those non-liquid and liquid assets, they could be sued, and those could be seized. Now, let me ask you a question. If you're holding your private keys on your digital assets, can anybody seize those? Can they be collateralized? They could be if you give someone the private keys, right? You could put it out there and they could hold it as collateral or whatever. But then you're really risking it with some of these, like, you know, Celsius, Voyagers, and of course, FTXs. So are you going to do that? Probably no. Now, with respect to that, I think you're going to see the regulators come in here and they want to put it in a position where, number one, they know who holds what, how much, where, and it can be attached. Because look at your securities now. When you go out and you're dealing with a brokerage house, and, you know, and of course, if you're going to interact with any stocks or any securities or any, stuff like that, what you're looking at is, you know, having some broker deal on your behalf. And, of course, there's brokerage fees. And then, of course, what happens after you purchase the security? You know, do they mail you a stock certificate in the mail? They don't. That's custodied, and it's probably in electronic format anyway, but somebody else is custodying that on your behalf, right? Then you have it going through the Depository Trust and Clearing Corp, which is trillions of dollars of volume a day. And by the way, as we know, they have just recently gone over to blockchain vis-a-vis R3 Corda, and XDC is R3 Corda's instant settlement platform of choice. Big deal. But needless to say, the regulations, I think, will come where they are trying to herd us guys into those chutes, into the traditional rails. And my guess is that rather than fight these exchanges or put them out of business or whatever, I think these traditional rails are just going to come and buy them up, and that's just going to be another branch. And you're going to see crypto having its own indices on markets similar to, you know, the NASDAQ and that type of thing for tech stocks. You're going to see crypto have its own indices, and you're going to have to be going through. Now, when's that going to happen? I don't know, but it could be sooner than we think. I think within the next 2 to 3 years, we could see a lot of that, but we'll see. Okay, now let me just go through here. I was just seeing a little text there. Judy's like kind of keeping me up, saying, oh, somebody's asking this and that. So let's see if I can. All right. North Oklahoma, T. Kelly's in the house. Gomes is in the house. Let me just take a look. Linux Master. I used to use Linux all the time as a platform, by the way. Crypto tyrant, not me. Crypto. I use my debit and it's off in minutes. Yep, absolutely right. Yeah, Uphold has been having some big issues. Look, I got a really great friend, and this guy, he was doing everything right. Absolutely everything. He put all of what he was doing through the proper rails and everything and followed the thing to the T. And Uphold has caused nothing but grief to this guy. And look, what happened in the situation? He put his money in, purchased the XRP, confirmed with his bank. And after the few days that the transfer went through, Uphold, they can't seem to find it. They reversed it. Not only did they reverse it, but they charged him for the value of the XRP and reversed the XRP. So this has been a nightmare. And I don't know what's going on over there, but certainly nobody was able to be contacted by phone. He's reached out to support multiple times, having to open multiple tickets. And it's got to the point where he is potentially seeking legal action. So I'm not so certain of like what's Uphold doing, and maybe they're just growing too fast, but whatever it is, they got to fix it and fix it quick because it is causing real problems. And I think they're, look, their brand has had a great reputation. And so when I encouraged my friend here to use Uphold, it's because Uphold had the reputation of being one of the securest and most reliable exchanges. But as of late, I am having a lot of questions myself about it. So yeah, all right. So let's take a look here. Voice Ireland, Jamie L. Hey, better late than never. That's how I say it. So a lot of times people will get on the comments and say, "Hey, I'm first," and my response back off the time is first or last. I'm glad you're here. I really am. All right. Some people are having a great time. I see Voice Ireland says, I've had no problems with Uphold. I use it every day. Hey, I'm not saying that they're doing this with everybody. And I'm just pointing out what I know from a personal experience, someone I actually know quite close. And so, I think it's important to put it all out there. And I sure hope that they fix whatever it is they need to fix. And you know what? When you're talking about a billions and billions of dollar exchange like Uphold is, I think they can afford a call center where people can actually phone in, talk to a live support person on the phone, be able to communicate in clarity their issue and get it addressed and get feedback, personal feedback. Come on. I mean, if AT&T can do it, then certainly Uphold can do it. Awesome. Doge XR penis. Well, hey, I think XRP is going to be a real big one. So Doges, hey, maybe that's a good title. But Wen Moon, I'll tell you what, Wen Moon, when you see this law case be settled, finally settled, number one, all that private equity out there on Link2 for Ripple itself, boom, that's gone. And by the way, guys, Ripple being over $15 billion unicorn, that is an amazing feat. I mean, absolutely no exchanges. It's only private equity. And by the way, I think that gives us a strong indication of how we could win this case. Because remember, Ripple did not do an ICO. They literally built their business with venture capital money and private equity sales. And that is a huge plus for us who have bought aftermarket XRP. And so Wen Moon, you watch this case settle. I'm going to tell you what, XRP is going to be the only digital asset with legal clarity. And when you see, look, come on, man, when you look at the tentacles of XRP and how far Ripple is involved in all these various marketplaces around the world. They just moved into Africa. They're moving heavily into Europe. They've been on the Digital Pound Foundation, the Digital Dollar Foundation. They're working in Australia with the Commonwealth Bank, which is probably one of the biggest banks, if not the biggest bank in Australia. I mean, you can see this coming to fruition right before your very eyes. And I'm telling you, if you were looking at this as a traditional stock, this is a buy on a fundamental level at absolutely hands down. I mean, Facebook didn't even have this kind of, stuff when it was being, IPO'd. Ripple is going to be truly amazing. All right, let me just take a look here. Jamie L says, I'm in Ireland at the moment too. Had issues with the bank here stopping my yeah, they're crazy. Okay, here's a good question. What music do you listen to when chilling out? Wow, I am you know what? I love older music. Listen, how would I say this? So when I chill out, some of the great songs that I love listening to are, of course, back in the 80s. Now, back in the 80s, I was a genuine headbanger, man. I had my hair literally down here. My ear was pierced there, and that was the style back then. And I was as skinny as a rail, man. I mean, a gust of wind could have blew me away. But needless to say, back then, I was listening to all the heavy metal bands and stuff like that. Then I got saved. Wow, what a transformation that was in my life, too. And I got into a lot of Christian rock and Resurrection Band and Petra and stuff like that. All that kind of stuff was amazing to me, but I still listen to all those old tunes. And by the way, I really love folk music as well. So Cat Stevens, different ones like that. I just love all that kind of stuff, all that. I love the Hollies. They're a great band. I still listen to a lot of their stuff like that. Barry Maguire, I used to love listening to Eva Destruction, great tune, a lot of that. And hey, a lot of British Invasion stuff too, man. They had some really great stuff coming out. And so I listen to a lot of that, but mostly, I can listen to almost anything, really I can. In fact, I like even some Eminem stuff, if you believe it or not. Not so much, like some of the lyrics can be really rough, but it's the passion, right? It's the passion, and I love that. And plus, I listen to a lot of worship music because, it takes you to a different place. By the way, when you listen to, inspirational music, that brings you to a level of higher where it's not about you and just kind of like, all that emotion on the inside, but something is kind of being released. There is a power in that, It's interesting. There's a scripture that goes out there that God literally inhabits the praises of his people. And it is an amazing thing. And he's not needing it. Worship from a Christian perspective, I'll just end that with this because this live stream is not about that. But needless to say, for music-wise, worship from a Christian experience is not because God needs his ego stroked. It's because when you worship, you are being transported in your spirit into that presence. And what a beautiful place it is. Now, that's been my experience, but hey, I love all kinds of music. And by the way, I write music. And coming up, maybe today I'll see if I can give you a little hint of a song that I'm going to be releasing soon. It's a Christmas song, but it's actually quite neat. I don't sing it, but I did write it and produce it. All right, so John's asking, if you use a wallet access, trust, etc., the best thing to do after your transfer, delete the wallet app. Ah, okay. I guess that would be a big deal up and down, Now let's just see here. I just want to catch how I said that these comments can kind of get away from you. I want to make sure that I haven't missed any important ones here. So yeah, you can put H-bar. By the way, this come from Voice Ireland, and he's writing to Escalade. He says, I don't understand. I withdrew all H-bar to my Decent and XDC also. Decent is a great wallet, a great hardware wallet. I think Chocolate Tobler is one of the guys on here that definitely uses that wallet. And it is a good one. And so, look, you can get some on there. And you got to just hold your own keys and just be very secure about your stuff. Listen to this. Arthur Mack. My bank told me Visa is about to stop all cryptocurrency transactions due to fraud, and that Uphold is the only one that is having issues. Well, you know what's crazy about this, guys? Now, with Visa, in a way, I can understand them doing it in this way, because with Visa, it's a line of credit, right? And so with a line of credit, you're actually borrowing, in a way, even though you might pay it off immediately, there's that transitional thing. So it's really, in a way, their money, and I guess they can decide who the merchants they're going to approve are going to be. I suppose that's a possibility. But the one that really gets me is when you want to use your debit card or make a wire transfer right out of your bank account, your bank turns around and says, oh no, we can't let you do that because there's just too much fraud. I mean, it's like they're almost trying to parent us and to tell us, hey, look, you just don't know enough. And that brings me to another subject. Let me just take a sip of this coffee. So that brings me to another subject. So you have this kind of big brother approach from the financial institutions because they look at it like we're just too dumb to know how to really spend our own money. And so we got to really protect you. And then you've got the SEC coming out talking about this accredited investor deal. Now, an accredited investor in the United States is someone who has $1 million of liquid assets outside of their residential property or earns, I think it's like up to $200,000 a year, and they have to show they've earned that for the last couple of years. And I think you can put the husband and wife in there. If you guys know better than me in this way, put that in the comments so we can all get on the same page here. But needless to say, you have this accredited investor kind of basis where they're saying, hey, those folks that don't meet these targets, well, they're just not sophisticated enough. And, we have to just really go out and protect them from investing in private equity. And in a lot of ways, they're really just closing corridors for people to make, good living. Why not regulate the private equity firms and as to, what they are putting on their platforms and what due diligence they need to do in order to ensure that those are sound and legit investments rather than throw the regulation against the investor, limiting the investor's exposure to various markets. That's just what I feel. Now they're also going out there and they're proposing to increase that threshold, that $1 million threshold, to $10 million. Seriously. So somebody who has a net liquid worth of $9.5 million is not going to be qualified to invest in private equity. I mean, this is just nonsense from my point of view. And realistically, I think what it is, it's about control. They have to keep this ratio of the middle class, the poor, and the wealthy. And there is a lot of levers being pulled. Yes, there are protectionist regulations out there, and there should be. But hey, how many folks from this FTX debacle, why is SBF not in cuffs already, considering, look what Madoff did. Now you're telling me that SBF, with all the evidence they have, that they can get Interpol on the case and drag that guy back to the United States along with his compatriots to face the music, and they should. But will they? I guess we're going to see. And on top of that, guys, how about this? Let me just go down here because I know I'm getting on a bit of a soapbox, but let me just say this. All of those Democratic, politicians, candidates, who got all of these, donations from FTX, where is the integrity? Man, if I'm telling you what, if I found out that somebody gave me a bunch of money and it was a gift and all that, but I found out that that was stolen, do you think I'd be keeping that? No chance. And if these guys have any integrity whatsoever, I can't wait. The first one that does it, by the way, I think that they are going to really get a lot of public support, because the first one that comes out and says, you know what, I got $200,000-$300,000 donation from FTX, but considering what I've learned about this, I am going to make sure that my campaign repays that back and reverses that charitable donation receipt to FTX, and that gets put back and hopefully towards some trustee who is managing the whole thing for the creditors. And get this, I guess Jay Clayton has been appointed as one of, that's like putting the fox in the hen house, that guy being over, or one of the overseers of the FTX bankruptcy. That's at least what I think. But let's see if any of them will do that and pony up and have that kind of integrity. That's at least what, and you can, hey, tell me what you think about that, if you think that's good. Yeah, Big Red, you're on the money as far as I'm concerned with respect to that. Yeah, well then, hey, Marthes Ramirez, if there's rhinos out there that got some of those donations, then them too. By the way, that goes both ways. I'm saying anybody with some integrity, that's what needs to happen. All right, ASMR, hey, welcome, by the way. And Jerry Shex, I'm happy to see you guys in here. And let's just take a look. Hi, David. Have you noticed that the ledger takes ages to swap coins? Yes, I have noticed that. Scared the dickens out of me when I did it. Now, Coinbase is quicker, but riskier. Now, I'm not sure if Coinbase is riskier. The only risk is this. They might ask you to validate, depending on the amount that you're putting in, how much more you would want to do. So Now, I don't think you can pay any extra to fix the swap rate like you would, for instance, like say with an Ethereum transfer where you can go low, moderate, and high and pay a higher, gas fee to get it to move on. It doesn't work like that, I don't believe, you know. But I've only done it a couple times, so I'd have to really look into it to see. Um, well, I mean, Crypto Spider's asking, do you think we'll be wealthy next year? Well, this is a really great question, and for a bunch of reasons. I'll tell you why. My idea of what wealth looks like versus somebody else's idea could be completely different. Let me give you a real life example. Now, I've been over to Africa 4 times, been to Rwanda 4 times. I'm going to tell you something. I've met little kids, 12, 13 years old, not even wearing a pair of shoes that would fit them. And literally, I kid you not, wearing like a size 13, 2 left feet, different shoes, that kind of stuff, just to get around. What would wealth look like to someone like that? Maybe wealth to them would just be having clean clothes, pair of shoes, having a bicycle to ride rather than have to walk everywhere, or maybe a little moped. This is a very personal question. What does wealth look like? Now, of course, in the Western world, wealth looks like, a yacht and a this and that. Is that wealth? Hey, look, if you had a $1 or $2 million, is that wealth? Well, would someone who, like Bill Gates, would Bill Gates consider himself wealthy if he only had about a $2 million? Probably not. Why? Because the guy's a multi-billionaire. So, and furthermore to that, wealth starts here, guys, and gets down into here. A lot of people miss wealth by 18 inches, right? True wealth, is this. Not to say that we should not go out there and try to achieve wealth, but we need a proper perspective of what wealth looks like. Now, is wealth just out there so that I can, kind of meet the desires and needs? And by the way, dreams are important to have. And I have had some dreams fulfilled, to be sure. But I also count it just an amazing blessing. Where God, I believe, has used me to be the answer for other people's prayers too. Because it's not so much, Jesus himself said, look, it's not how, it's better to give than it is to receive. I know that sounds counterproductive, but the benefits that come back are crazy, because he also said, give and it will be given unto you. Pressed down and shaken together will men pour into your bosom. And I've watched that happen in my life. When I didn't have anything, I gave what I had. And I watched God turn around, and it's kind of like your idea about money totally changes, because money no longer becomes a commodity that you obtain in order to meet needs or to consume, but it becomes more like a seed, a tool where you're able to sow it into various individuals' lives and stuff, or sow it in the various areas and watch a harvest come out. Now, look, when you're doing that, when you're investing like that, it's not addition, guys. This is the beautiful part about that kind of investing. It's multiplication. Because you take one seed and you put it in the ground, I'm not expecting to get one tree and one apple off the tree, right? I'm expecting a tree to come up out of that is not only going to give me a harvest of apples in that seasons, which have seed inside of them, but a multiplicity of harvests going forward for the longevity and life of that tree. That's how it really works. And you get this mindset about what money truly is. And you start to realize what it can do, so that even just a very small amount put in the right soil matters, by the way. Don't expect, to be going to the casino and think, well, I'm just putting my money into this soil. Soil matters, right? So that's where your due diligence and understanding your investments and how to invest and investment strategies. I'm working with some folks right now that are trying to do something really great for people around the country and the world, to build up investment strategies and educate people of really what it is to invest, because we all need that. We have lost it completely. All right. I'm getting a thing. Answer the when 22. Okay, let me just take a look in here. So, by the way, for me, I think that we're going to start moving into a bull run. Yes, in 2023 into 2024. So I would say starting around the spring of 2023 and possibly going all the way to December of around 2024, we are probably going to see a big bull run. That's what I think. All right, so now let me just take a look here. I want to just Aaron S. Okay, I've thought about that. Everyone's okay. Yeah. Yes, you know, you got a dollar cost average, guys. Because look, we all are kind of banking on, it's always easy to say, oh yeah, look, it's going to drop further. It's going to drop further. Well, what if it doesn't? And you've missed it, right? Or, you know, when you're dollar cost averaging, you're buying here, but then you're buying a little more here and a little more here and a little more here. Do you think we're always going to be in a bear market? For every bear market, there's a bull market. For every bull market, there is a bear market. Now, those that have been in this digital asset space, when we see a bull market, it is absolutely something that your mind can't genuinely take it in. I remember watching my portfolio and boom, 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 and just exploding. And it almost seems unnatural to get 100x returns. I'm telling you, 100x return, you're talking 10,000% increases. And yet I saw multiples of those, multiples. And there's people on this chat right now that can attest to that, because we were all in a very, very small community of about 30 of us, and we all watched it happen. It was real, and it changed so much. And literally, we're talking millions of dollars of value that we saw. It was just unbelievable, unfathomable, really. And let me say this, in the 2017, 2018 with XRP alone, and I'm sure you guys have watched my videos, you heard me say this, we saw XRP literally go from just a little over a half a cent to $3.84. I mean, I saw big returns, but that kind of return, that is mesmerizing. $6,000 would have made you what? $3.84 million in a year. And it was to the day, January 4th of 2017 to 2018. Then I was here and I bought a huge amount of XRP before the SEC lawsuit. And the SEC lawsuit came down, bang, XRP drops to what? 17 cents. And even under that kind of pressure, it hit $1.97. That's a 10x. That is amazing. Now, if it wasn't for that SEC lawsuit, I think we would have saw another 50 to 100x return, if not more, in XRP. Because I saw that with Cardano. I saw that with VeChain. I saw that with, all kinds of other assets. I saw some major moves with Chainlink and with Polkadot. It was just amazing, amazing, amazing. And so for me, when I'm looking forward to this next bull run, I genuinely, totally believe that it's possible. And why do I believe it? Why do I believe it? Is it just hopium? No, guys, I believe it because I experienced it. And I'm telling you what, it is easy to talk about, right? But when you've experienced it, you pretty much become a believer, right? Because if I could talk you into it, if I could really talk you into it, then when your confidence is shaken, right? Things go down like they did with FTX, someone else could turn around and talk you out of it. You've got to be convicted on the inside. And that's where your own research, not listening to my YouTubes, not listening to other people's YouTubes. Hey, we're great to come out there and give you, some affirmation and stuff like that. But you research it for yourself. It will change your mind forever. And I think when you start peeling back the onion, you're going to see what I saw. It is truly amazing. You know what, Jerry? I think Tether could. I really do. Tether could crash. Now, I don't think 95% of crypto will go belly up if it does, though. Why? Because I think a lot of that value is just going to move into some other stable coins and take in their place. I do think Tether could potentially collapse only in this way because, look, it's like the US dollar in one respect. It's only propped up by the confidence that people have using it. Now, they say they're a one-to-one. Well, hey, pony up the evidence. Let's see it. Throw it on the table. Open everything up and allow yourself to be audited to the teeth. And let's just see what's going on there. And if Tether does go down, yeah, we're going to see some dips. But whoa, what an opportunity. When we have that, I want to ask you guys something. When FTX crashed, did any of the utility of XRP, Hedera Hashgraph, Algorand, XLM, did it evaporate? It didn't, did it? Why not? Because, guys, those ecosystems are independent of the markets they're trading on. We are moving into a digital economy at warp speed. And even during this whole FTX debacle, Ripple's been coming out making one new strategic agreement with another new strategic agreement. And by the way, do you think the big time institutions have been scared off because of this FTX crash? Not on your life. The one great thing about blockchain is this: the ledgers are open for all to see, and these massive institutions have been buying it up like crazy. And in fact, I showed a title from an article in just last night's video that absolutely confirms and demonstrates that. We can see the movement. It's not all OTC. We can see it. That is the thing that puts this space above traditional markets, where you can't necessarily know all what's going on behind the scenes in the background. No, these ledgers are public. Now, can we pinpoint, yeah, this person owns this and that? No, but we can see the volume. And we can see the movement of assets, and we can see the size of those wallets in terms of what deposits are in there. And you can see the institutions and the whales are buying. Believe it. Okay. So I'm just taking a look there. All right. George. Or is this Crypto Times asking George Scott if he was here for the last bull run? I was here for the last bull run. It changed my living life. And hey, there's some folks on this, and I'm not going to call them out, but there's people on our chat right now that were there with me and who can attest that it really did happen, guys. It did happen. And I still have the, the trades to prove it. So I'm good. It could, Travis. Yeah. And if it does, if Tether crashes and we see those dips down to XRP, I am backing up the truck. I'm telling you what, absolutely zero doubt, I will back up the truck, because the utility has not changed and the infrastructure has not been aborted. It's been more and more adopted, and we're seeing it all the time. By the way, I want to point some. I had a question come in. A guy says to me on the comments, he says, "Where's your bio? Who are you?" and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, hey, I'm not going to put my bio out there other than, hey, my name is David and this and that on the YouTube channel, because as we know, in this space, we got all kinds of hackers, scammers, hecklers and things like that. And on top of that, look, I'm coming out and being fairly transparent about what I believe and see in this blockchain space. And where people know I live in the North Dallas area. I've got family. And look, I think it's rather foolish sometimes when folks get on there and they put their wallet size out onto, the comments and stuff like that. Because if other folks are out there, remember this space, there's been some tremendous thefts and folks that have shaken people down, and it's just not worth it. Now, will I give you my background? Sure. I've told people lots of times what I did for a living in my past life, and there's people that know me. I just had some visitors come down from Canada, and this is kind of wild. I have two sets of friends where both the husband and the wife names are John and Teresa, two sets of friends. Now, this John and Teresa friend was from Canada, and it's almost like I kind of think that was just coinkydink. But anyway, they came down and they know me from my past, and they were just like, and I shared with them, different things about this space, and they were just, their eyes were open, and they know me, and they know where I come from, and they know that, I'm authentic. I'm the real deal. What you see is what you get, guys. You know what? And someone asked me, hey, look, what did you do? Are you living off the proceeds? Look, I sold half my positions at those levels, and it really did some amazing things for us. But look, I will never consider myself to have arrived. And just like everybody else, we budget and we show good stewardship for the things that we have. We're not out there just, consuming everything we've got and this and that. We plan it all out, and the majority of our wealth is invested, So just to put that out there, we know what it's like. We do our shopping just like everybody else does their shopping, but we also know what this space is and what it holds and what it's done for us and what it can do for you. And it's kind of a neat feeling to be able to just walk into a place and realize, hey, look, if I wanted to, I could have that if I really, really wanted it. but I can just walk in and, a lot of salespeople will look at you like they kind of size you up, and they move on, which is great because who wants to be hassled the whole time? But that does not mean that you don't have ability, but it's how you choose to use it, right? How you choose to use it. And for Judy and I, it has been a blessing. We took a lot of what we had. We did what we needed to do with it in our life, in our family's life, and we also blessed others with it too. And that's the beauty of having wealth. Poverty, guys, is a curse. There is no blessing in being poor. This whole idea that there's some kind of, sanctimonious righteousness about being poor. I'm just a poor such and such waiting for the Lord. No. We're called as believers to occupy and to be overcomers and to be a source of blessing. Out of us should be flowing rivers, the Bible says, of living water. Well, how can you do that when your own needs are always not being met and stuff like that? Well, you can't. And so that's my philosophy on it. And oftentimes when we have been able to do that, we don't want the left hand knowing what the right hand's doing, right? We want it to be quiet and in the back. So I don't, publicize a whole lot of that. And oftentimes when we do, I tell folks right off, hey, it's not coming from me. It may be coming through me, but it's not coming from me. I give God the glory for those things. And that's just the way I take it. That's part of who I am. And I don't hide that. It's just right out there front and center. So let's take a look. So now, guys, I think we've been on the chat for a good enough while that I'm going to get to be able to present to you some of those things I was talking about in my videos about what I want to show you. So I'm going to switch over here and hopefully this transition's good. I'm going to cut this over. All right. And let me just take a look here if I can set this up here, right? Okay, here we are. Okay. And what I want to do, I want to go back over here and I want to do this. Okay. And now I'm going to try and make this go live so we can all see this. All right. Can everybody see this screen here that I got up? Guys, one of the things that I have been hearing a lot is just, in this community being as interactive and as fantastic as it is. And it's been just a joy, true pleasure. I've started a Discord and I've started it for everybody to go in there. Nobody has used this Discord yet. And I've started it so that it can all be for the whole community. You can see here, we've got the rules here. We don't talk about anything illegal, not threatening. I'll let you guys read all that. But look, nobody has made any kind of comments on these things. And I'll be dropping my YouTube videos in over here. Any special announcements there. We're going to have, the general chat. There's crypto discussion. You can drop your charts in there. And I want to give a shout out to some really great guys that really helped me put this together because I am not that technical about it. But one of my great commenters, and just one of my very first, and most of these guys are within the first 5 to 10 subs that I ever had. And Chocolate Tobler is one of those. Keyvax is another one of those. And there's Tim, who really gave me a great opportunity. He runs a Discord, and when he was running his Discord, he let me post my videos in there. I give a shout out to those guys. They were the ones that or especially Tim and Keyvax, that put this together. And so those guys really, I have a great level of thanks. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go in, I'm going to post an invite. I'm going to copy this link. Now, I don't know how to send this link, if I can send it in this chat. I'm going to see if I can do that. I'm going to paste it in here. There you go. Hopefully you all got that. There you go. Click that link there and go in. And this is for the community. You guys can have as much as, and I'm going to be in there from time to time. And I'm going to be chatting with the community, and it makes it a lot easier to connect and stuff. Now, having said that, a lot of people have been asking me a lot of times about, oh, where'd you get your hat? And for me, I got this hat as a Christmas gift from one of my daughters. And believe it or not, it is the one that I use all the time. And it's the only one I've gotten. I treasured this present. Well, now I got it all cattywampus. When you're doing it through a video, you kind of have to do it. But anyway, it was a gift. So I did something else for the community. And I really think you guys are going to like it, because you know how I love, I come out in the morning, I do my coffee chats and stuff like this. Well, I've had folks ask me so much about, hey, where can we get a cup and da 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 da. So guys, I just want to show you right over here. I'm going to just close this bit off here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in here. And guys, I opened up a little digital outlet shop. And in this little shop, you can, I did up this design. It's exactly the same coloring as my design up here. I put it on these hats. Now, this is a shop. If anyone knows what my spread shop is like, it's just a shop that you can go on and put your own designs, and they put out all these products and prices and stuff like that. Really amazing. But I want to just show you some of the things that we got in here. If you're really wanting some of this stuff, go ahead. It would be a great blessing to the channel, and I think you'd really enjoy it. But in the mugs, I want to show you some of the mugs. So you can change the color over here on the mugs, and there's the mugs. Now I've got 3 different mugs. They all have our digital outlook image in there, but this one says in the meantime and in between time. And I thought that was really cool, because that's something I always give out there. And let's just take a look at some of the other cups there. Okay, now here's another one of the cups, and the saying is, the cup is the same, the saying is different, because I'm always going, and what? And it was one of my subscribers said, man, you need to put that on a shirt or a cup. And I thought, okay. So I did that. And then let's take a look. There's one other cup in here that I have. Oh yeah, this one here. So on the back of this one, it says stay safe and be blessed. And so I got those products out there, and I really thought this was a really fun thing to do, and their shirts and stuff like that. If it's something that you're interested in, go out and do it. And especially the coffee cups. And hey, I'll tell you what, you buy a coffee cup, send me an image of yourself holding that cup, and on coffee chat in the morning, if you say it's okay, obviously you have to email it to me. I'll post an image of you on the show holding up your coffee cup. That would be really kind of cool to do. But as you can see, it's all right there. And what I'll do here is I am just going to put in the link into our discussion here. Just let me pop back over and put it up in there. And that is another one of the things that we're doing here. How's that? There you go. Oh, hey, look at, we got a visitor.
Hey guys.
This is Judy. This is my missus.
Congratulations on the 10,000. We're so excited that you're part of the community.
That's my daughter, Christina.
This is one of our 4 daughters.
The youngest one.
Big baby. Also, I just wanted to congratulate all of you and also tell you that this weekend's really special because it's someone's birthday tomorrow.
Hey,
so if y'all want to wish him a happy birthday, I know he'd appreciate it. He's too shy to say anything, but we're gonna go out and do that. And we're looking forward to having a great weekend with you guys and also celebrating David this weekend. So anyway, you guys have a great day. We're heading out. Gonna go do a little shopping for somebody.
God. Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Thank you. Love you, sweetheart.
Bye.
There you go. I didn't expect that, but I guess they're going out through the garage. We have a couple entrances. There's one here and one on the other side of the house. Man, that garage out there, I'm telling you what, I feel like I'm driving into my own parkade every time I go into it. It is just, I got like 1,000 square feet in the garage. Crazy. But God has been good. Yeah, guys, I wasn't going to say that. Now look at, maybe I'm going to turn all beat red here. I wasn't going to say it was my birthday tomorrow, but they did. I was more celebrating you, celebrating us, celebrating this channel. You guys have been amazing. Now, something else, guys, that I have been getting a lot of requests on, and I've really been thinking about this a lot because for me, value means a lot. And, it's hard sometimes to really give the same level of input, through just like a text message or something like that. And so I have decided that I'm going to only open this up for 25 people because obviously I'll wear myself out if I do this, but I'm going to do something. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to do some coaching. I am going to open up 25 slots to do personal coaching where you can email me your portfolios and that. I can take a look at them and talk with you about them. But on top of that, I am willing to dedicate a personal one-on-one Zoom meeting for 1 hour with you. And it doesn't matter where in the world you are. If you're in Australia and it works for you at 5 p.m. Australia time, I'll get up. If it's 2, 3 in the morning, I'll get up here and I'll do that Zoom meeting for you. And you can talk with me about any of the subjects that you want with regards to this space. I can help walk you through some stuff and things like that. Now, guys, I have to charge for it because it's really going to be a big deal in time. And I'm only opening up to 25 people. And I know this is not going to be for everyone, and that is okay. And at the end of the day, if nobody decides they want to do it, that's fine. But I think what you'll find is you'll get a lot of value out of it because I've done a couple of them already kind of off the side, and have private one-on-one meetings with Zoom with folks, in Winnipeg, Canada. And I had some folks where I did, different kind of level of presentation here in Texas as well as in Canada. I've done some there, and it's going to be $250, but you're getting an hour of my time, a review of your portfolio, personal interaction and all of that kind of stuff. And like I said, I'm only open that up for 25 people. I wish I could do more, but it will just be too much. And it will be between now and the end of December, and you'll get scheduled, and it'll be a first come, first serve thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the email. If you're interested in this, I'm typing in the email right now. There we go. Because I have been getting all kinds, and I've thought a lot about how I could potentially do it. So email me right there. I'm going to put that link into my videos, and then we can work it out, whatever works for you. And like I said, it does not matter. If you're in the UK, then I will meet you UK time for what works for you. You're over there in South America for what works for you. If you're in Australia, and it happens to be 4 p.m. your time, but it's like 3:30 in the morning my time, I'm going to get up and I'm going to give you that time. And I will make sure it's all booked and works well for everybody. And like I say, you'll be able to get that one-on-one coaching. So, hey, let me know if anybody's interested in doing that. And that would be great. All right. So now, having said all that, guys, I am just so thrilled and excited for what we've been doing. Let me just go in here. I'm going to go back to, there we go. Right here. So what I want, yep. I'm going to cut back over. There you go. So, hey, how did you guys like that little, the Discord, the store, and the coaching and that? Give me your feedback. What do you think about that? Now, let me look to see if I can. Well, Jeno, if you want to do that, 73 years old, like I said, you can reach out to me here and I can walk you through it. Literally from A to Z, walk you through that. Thank you, R. Woods. Thank you for that, guys. Jamie L., thank you, man. That's awesome. That's sweet. Blue Dynamite. There you go. Hey, Blue, thank you so much. I'm recognizing so many of you guys. It is fabulous. Now, having said all that, give me some other questions and let's just keep going and share some of those things that you've got questions about. I've got a lot of interesting ideas that are going through my head. Now, one of them up there on the top of my list is this. With this whole FTX deal, it is amazing to me at how coincidental we see all these network of relationships. It to me, guys, this feels like it was an absolute strategic plan. Sam Bankman-Fried came out of nowhere. No one knows how he got the money to start up his exchange. And by the way, it took a few $100 million to do that. And how he got all of these big players involved in and the networks of relationships. To the point where, it's like almost zero scrutiny whatsoever. And his tentacles reached out there, and he was in fact involved, it appears, with the whole Terra Luna collapse and potentially the whole Celsius and Voyager deal. Now, for me, hey, where there's smoke, there is usually fire. This guy and the people involved behind the scenes need to be brought up towards some sort of tribunal for some kind of, at least there needs to be, some level where they're questioned and that kind of stuff in order to find out what really went on here. Because we're talking to the tune of billions and billions of dollars of global investment at the retail level. And this guy is meeting with Gary Gensler at the SEC, and they don't have a clue of what's going on. Meanwhile, they're over here suing Ripple. I'm telling you, to me, there's something afoot. I think it was strategically planned. It almost happened with perfect timing for the market. It just is really crazy. I want to get your thoughts on that. Well, that's true, Bruhoofty Fluten. Definitely gave us more time to load up our bags. There's no doubt about it. Yes, I do believe XRP will be relisted on exchanges. I absolutely do. Now, will it last long? You know what, guys? When this whole thing is over and XRP does get relisted, because it's going to need some liquidity pools, it is going to be unbelievably fast. You are going to watch something really quick, and it's going to be a big supply and demand. It's already getting to be a supply and demand issue, but it is going to be big in my view. Let me just take a look. Oh, absolutely. DVR. There's more than one chosen one, that is for sure. XLM would fit the bill there. I think Hedera Hashgraph fits the bill there. Algorand, most of the ISO tokens. XDC, are you kidding? XDC is probably one of the biggest sleeping giants that there will ever be. When you look into the XDC ecosystem and you see how easily and seamlessly things can be transacted on the XDC network, Zinfin, I'm telling you guys, don't sleep on XDC. And XDC, you're picking XDC up now at what? Just under 2 cents? It is truly an amazing buy. Look, I was buying VeChain when VeChain was at 0.004, and I watched VeChain go to 27 cents. Now that is an amazing, amazing move. And I genuinely believe with VeChain, with XDC, these ones are trading at around that 1-2 cent range. And we're more than likely going to see them hit the $1 to $2 range in the next bull run. Now, that is what I believe. And I base that, by the way, I'm not just throwing out let's just throw darts in the wind. I'm taking a look at fractals on previous bull runs and exchanges and applying those same fractals to what we see right now. I'm looking at the Fibonacci retracements if we get beyond that 1.618, and if it all goes all the way up to the 4.236 retracement level. And I'm also looking at Elliott wave theory. And of course, we look at the EMAs and we build our support and resistance. We draw our trend lines. And I'm telling you, when this thing reverses, it is going to reverse hard. And what you'll probably see at the same time is you're going to see a collapse in the DXY. I mean, it is going to come down heavy and fast. And when it does, you're going to watch equities and you're going to watch crypto and risk on assets that are just going to go nuts. Now, having said that, keep your eyes on the debt market and the 10-year yield. You watch that 10-year yield. If it starts spiking, you're going to start to see the markets are going to get very scary, and that's when you're going to see drops. Why? Because risk on assets are going to want to get out of risk and go into more security, with the debt market. But who's going to come in there, guys? Like they already have. You got the Bank of England, the European Central Bank, the Federal Reserve, and all these central banks buying up that debt like crazy. Why? So they can pour money back in to risk on assets. And don't kid yourself. They buy the market too. They don't tell you that. They don't show you that, but they definitely do that. And you can literally see it. And they choose sectors to do it. I've been around long enough. Look, I may not have been in this blockchain space for maybe more than 2 years. It's been about 2 and some years. But I'll give you my background. So I have spent over 25 years of my life working for the federal government in Canada at a senior level position in the tax department as a senior level officer. And I have dealt with finance and international business corps, underground economy, aggressive tax planning, and all the like. And I've always had an aptitude for financial, review and things like that. And so, guys, I have had my fingers on the pulse of a lot of things for a long time. And before that, I was involved in commercial lending. You know, before I got in with the government, I was involved with commercial lending and I've been a part of that. So most of my life, and this is the ridiculous thing, I was not a great math student, although I had the aptitude for it. I just didn't have the motivation when I was in school. I, in fact, liked the arts more and social studies, and those were the subjects I really enjoyed. Now, I still made it through my matriculation, and for those who don't know, that's the more advanced levels of mathematics and science and stuff like that, and got obviously my advanced high school diploma and whatever. But it wasn't my thing. And then here I ended up landing myself in a job, spent 25 years in the tax department. Crazy. But having said that, I'm not someone that could just be so easily talked into something with the promise of, oh, you know, all this. No, I look at these things, I examine them, and I start looking at the price history, the potential. And I don't share TA on my channel too much, primarily for this reason. Not because I don't do TA, because I do TA. And I have worked with folks even on this chat right now and looking over portfolios and exit strategies and leveraging and averaging out and laddering in and laddering out and all that kind of stuff. And on a big level, we've done that together. And we use TA to do that, fib retracements and all that kind of stuff. But the reason I don't do it on my channel is there's a lot of folks out there that will just do copy trading. Now, if you haven't heard that before, there are people that will just follow other people and copy every trade they do. Now, for me, that's a pretty risky proposition because you're not assessing your own risk tolerance. You're basing it on someone else's risk tolerance. Now, I'm willing to take those risks on my own technical analysis, right? But I'm not willing to just put it out there so someone can copy trade it and kind of take the risks on my TA as well. Now, having said that, I think there's lots folks can learn about understanding technical analysis and how to employ it and utilize it to your best advantage. Now, couple that with the sentiment that's out there and fundamental analysis. Now you have got something that you can really lay down some strong support. And all those three things combined are really going to make the best strategy going forward. And it's not a guarantee, but the probabilities are way higher that you're going to see some personal success in employing all those things. That's how I feel about all that. Let me just take a look here. All right. Now, this is a great question. So Shredit's asking here, are we saying that when XRP rips, then market cap won't matter, as in it will just obliterate the rest of the market and be worth them more than everything put together? And they're laughing, laughing, laughing. So let me just pull ourselves over here, and I'm going to take us all to something to kind of give perspective, because I think perspective is everything. All right, I'm just going to punch this in, and then when I get it, I will come back. There we go. Now, let me just take a look here. All right, and what I'm looking for, there we go. Okay, right here, that's what I want. And let me just visit this. Let's see if I can see if this is it. I'm just looking for something, guys, that's going to really help us here and just see if this is going to make a difference here. Oh, okay. Well, that is not what I'm looking for there. I'm going to go back and let me just see if I can find this here. Hopefully. Oh, it's somebody that, you know, someone's selling a picture of something, but I'm not looking for an image. I'm looking for a website, and that's what I'm trying to find. And hopefully I'm going to find it here. And maybe this will make a difference. I don't know. Let's see if this is it here. All right. This might be it. This might be it. Bingo. Here we go. Bonus, 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 bonus. Okay. All right. Okay, let me just get this here. Okay, thanks for having patience with me there. I found what I wanted to find. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut over to this. Okay. Hey, just quickly. So Republica, H-bar. I love H-bar. Love, love, love it. Hedera Hashgraph. You look and see who owns Hedera Hashgraph. All right, here we go. So guys, now let's answer Shreddit's question. Is market cap going to matter and why? So what this is here, this is the world money supply, and I'm going to whip through this quick because it can take a bit. So now this is from 2020, and being that it's at the end of 2022, you can just imagine that these amounts are a lot bigger. So each square that I'm going to point out here is worth $100 billion, all right? So here's the silver market. Now the silver market is about half a square, and they got down here. Silver market's worth about 43.9 billion. Now here's crypto, and back when this was done in 2020, there was only about 5,000. There's about 20,000 projects in there, and crypto right now, they estimated then about 244 billion. Well, it's kind of just shy of $1 trillion right now, but there it is right there. Now, military spending, remember, each one of these are 100 billion, so you've easily got $1 trillion there. This is the UF budget deficit as of 2020, and you can see multiple trillions in there. Here are coins and banknotes. US, Euro, Canada, Australia would be in here, China and Japan, and you can see trillions in there. Now, this is the Fed's balance sheet, and this was as of January 1st of 2020. All this was at it. Well, now that's 2022. It's probably somewhere out here, but you can see trillions and trillions of dollars. Now, here's the world's billionaires, and over here, they're saying it's worth about 8 trillion. It's probably well over that. Excuse me, but you got Bezos, Zuckerberg, Gates, Ellison, and Arnold in there, and you can see like big amounts of wealth. Now, this is gold, the gold market, so this above ground, jewelry, below ground reserves, all that kind of stuff. Now, here's the Fortune 500. Multiple trillions in there. Now, stock markets, interestingly enough, New York Stock Exchange is 31.5% of this, and that out of 89.5 would put this somewhere in the neighborhood of about 28. Yeah, 28.2%, 31%, 28.2 trillion at 31% is New York Stock Exchange. Here's the NASDAQ. Here's the other exchanges. Now, the world money supply. So this is accessible cash. The total is about 35.2 trillion. Only 7% of the world money supply is actually physical. Most of it is non-physical. Now, let me give a caveat there. Just because it's non-physical does not mean it's equal to a central bank digital currency in that it's just a ledger entry. No, a central bank digital currency would be programmable fiat. That is quite a bit different. But needless to say, you've got the narrow money supply and the broad money supply, and 95.7 trillion, 35.2. Now, global debt, household debt, up in here, trillions and trillions. Here's government debt. Here's non-financial corps, $253 trillion of global debt. And you can see it all, financial sector, non-corporates. Here's global real estate. They're estimating it here to be worth about $280.6 trillion. That's residential, commercial, and agricultural. And something I always like to point out is this. When you consider that this is the global debt, 253, take almost all of the world's real estate to pay off the global debt. That is a staggering fact. Now, they've estimated 220 trillion for residential, 33 trillion commercial, and 27 trillion agricultural. Now, global wealth. Here's North America in the multiple trillions. Credit Suisse is estimating global wealth to be about 360.6 trillion. And, you know, you've got like North America, you've got Europe, you've got Asia Pacific, you got China, India, Latin America, Africa, all that broken down there. Now, derivatives, here's where it gets big, guys. So you've got 11.6 trillion in gross market value, and the notional value is 558.5 trillion, right? Look at this, 1 quadrillion of the notional value. Now, this is the world money supply at a glance. Well, I want to ask you all a question. When we talk about market cap and can these coins reach this and this or that? Just take a look over here. Global debt, 253 trillion. Do you know that they are talking about tokenizing global debt? And they're looking at Hedera Hashgraph and the XRP ledger to do that? Now, on top of that, the stock markets. Look, the Depository Trust and Clearing Corp, as we just said earlier, has already moved on the blockchain for instant settlement. Guaranteed, you are going to see stock markets and commodities around the world being tokenized, and there's already big talk of that. And in fact, with the gold market, huge talk about tokenizing gold. Instead of ETFs, we're talking about fractional tokenization, which is much more secure when it comes to validating the fact that, hey, ETFs have been known to be audited and not have the gold reserves to cover them. Well, this will be a way of clearing that out. Now, just ask yourself a question. If you took this right here and you move that up in here, what would that do to the sentiment of this space? What would that do to the potential value? You think 10x? I don't think 10x is big. What about 100x? Oh, still not that much. What about 1,000x or even more? Do you get my drift here, guys? You got to start thinking in these terms. Global money supply is way bigger than most people think. And they think, oh, it's impossible to get to those valuations. Well, you tell that to folks in 1975 when they took a look at the total value of the stock market. And you come to today. Do you think any of them would have ever believed that one company would be worth more than the entire stock market in 1975? No, they hardly would believe it, but that's the reality today. And I'm telling you guys, we are going to see such a massive transformation in this space. It is going to boggle minds and not even make sense. So, hey, shred it. There's your answer, at least from what I can give you. Don't believe the FUD. Don't. The thinking is not, we're going into a completely different level of economy, and it is going to be crazy. Just take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average from 2008 until now, even with this current dip. Are you seeing that level of growth? It is truly mind-boggling. And in 2008-9, we had a massive crash. And then who would have ever in their right mind have expected in 2020, when we were all going through that sea dump, right, that we would see a major equities and crypto bull run, considering the entire world was practically shut down and the economy was shut off and many businesses were doing nothing. The doors were closed, and yet one of the biggest bull market runs in the history of the stock exchange happened over that time. Truly mesmerizing. Now, I don't know if you guys want to give me your feedback about what I just showed you there. I'm willing to hear it out because, hey, look, I'm not here to talk you into it. Like I always say, if I could talk you into it, there's someone else can talk you out of it. But the evidence that I see, and from what I've been able to ascertain just watching this space and seeing these strategic partnerships, one right after the other, it is truly mind-blowing. All right, so let me just take a look here. All right, so here. So I'm getting, David Gallus is asking, hey, David, love your content. What are your other projects you are looking at except XRP? Okay, so my portfolio is something, it's made up of, I have 10 assets that I hold in my portfolio now. Having said that, I'm kind of hesitant sometimes to publicly say, oh, here's my portfolio and all this kind of stuff. Because, guys, there's a value added to that. And I don't want everyone to copy, but I'll just give you an idea. I am involved with a lot of the ISO tokens. And like I had explained earlier to Scott there, if I was investing $1 million today, I would primarily be putting 40 to maybe even 50% into that. And then I would take a look at oracles like Chainlink and Band. I would be dealing with some level ones. Of course, Cardano would be in there. Bitcoin would be in there. Perhaps maybe even a little bit of Ethereum. So this Shredit's asking, next question, sorry. What will 1 trillion represent in the new CBDC? I don't know, but I do know this. When you take a look at the overall value, you could literally rewrite the entire value of what a dollar is. And needless to say, because remember, a lot of these assets can be taken like to the 8th or the 9th fraction, right? And you look at it like that. Does it have to be $1 trillion? So let me say it this way. 200 years ago, a property, a piece of land, would $10,000 200 years ago, you were mega rich because of what $10,000 could buy. So even if the whole thing gets reevaluated in the CBDCs, it's not $1 trillion, but $1 billion. It's what is your purchasing power? What could it actually do? What kind of lifestyle could it bring you? At one time, a loaf of bread was 3 cents or even less than a penny if we went back. Now a loaf of bread's what? $1, $2, $3? Well, how much percentage increase is that? Right? If you were getting it for a few cents and now it's $1. You see what I'm saying? Look, it's the money supply. Don't think in denominations, because denominations are going to change. It is going to change big time. It's the value of what those denominations can purchase. That is what a reset is all about. Because what you're doing is you're inflating the market so much that eventually the balloon just gets so big and it bursts. And we have real world examples of that. Look at Zimbabwe. Did they not print $1 trillion notes? But what could a $1 trillion note buy you, right? So what did they end up doing? They had to trash that, and they literally went to the US dollar, right? And so in this marketplace, central bank digital currencies could be readjusted, but it's what is the power of those CBDCs? And that's the answer for you there, Shredded. You know? And it's going to be big. It's going to be massive. And in this space, you're going to watch assets like XRP, the value. Look, I literally believe you might not even have to spend 100 XRP to buy a vehicle because of what the value of it will be, as it's matched to the new system that is coming in place, and there's a lot of people, they want to speculate. Go ahead, speculate and question. But I'm telling you what, you just research central bank digital currencies. Guys, I want you to take a look at this website that I'm going to pull up right here. Let me just see here. If I can get it here. Okay, so I'm going to pull up another website. I think I bookmarked this one, but let me just take a look and see if I did. No, I didn't. So let me just pull this one up. Maybe if I'm missing a letter in there, sorry. There we go, try that. Okay, all right, now let me just do a search here. And let's go here. Guys, check this out. It is truly something else. This is a central bank digital currency tracker. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Let me just ask you there if you're seeing what I'm seeing. Okay. Well, Shane, it could happen. It could very well. You know what? People have woken up, gone to sleep one day, woken up in the morning and have been completely liquidated and saw a market crash. So why can't we wake up, go to sleep one day, wake up to a market explosion? It's certainly possible, But anyway, this website I'm showing you here is a cryptocurrency digital tracker. And you can literally go down here and you can see the status of any country and where they're at with the development of their CBDCs. You see, you got Europe in there. There's Canada. Here's the US. Down here, that's the Bahamas. Look at that. Over here in Brazil, I'm telling you, central bank digital currencies are coming. They are on their way. Don't kid yourself. This idea that it's not going to happen. Oh, that's just poppycock and on and on and on. That is not the case. They are really coming. Now, hey, look, can we convince everybody? No, we can't convince, everybody. But the reality is it is definitely on the way. So, hey, now guys, we've been on this live stream for a little while. I'm prepared to go a little while longer. Is there anything you'd really want to dive into that would be well worth our time? And hey, look, by the way, one thing I want to get back to this. We're celebrating these 10,000 subscribers. And as of today, we're like, 10,600 subscribers. And that is truly amazing. Literally, since we hit that 10,000, just in the last few days, got 600 more subscribers. Probably by the end of, by Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to, within a week of hitting 10,000, we're going to be at 11,000. We're getting like 1,000 subscribers plus a week. Now, my goal by the end of December would really be great if we've doubled this and we're at like 20,000. And then probably by June, I'm going to try and shoot for 10xing this whole thing and get us to 100,000. If that's something possible, we're going to do our very best, but it's all going to be community based no matter what. Now, I want to share something else. I have actually been approached by various token ecosystems to promote their tokens. And I can show you guys, I've had some emails and they're literally saying, we're ready to bury you in money, throw all kinds of money your way. And this is our goal. We want to do this. We want to do that. And if you'll do a spot on your, your thing and then I've just said, no, thank you. I'm not interested in that. Now, does that mean I'm not interested in any kind of sponsorship? Maybe if it was a really great exchange, I would do that. And of course, look, my coaching again, like I say, I'm putting it out there to just a small number of folks to do that coaching and to give them that one-on-one time. And if people are willing to do that, just write the email coaching@thedigitaloutlook.com and let me know what you're wanting to do and all that kind of stuff. And then we can move forward and do that. Now, those things, yes, of course, there's certain things I'm willing to do to bring in some monetization. And by the way, I want to share this too. Look, we're givers. My wife and I, Judy, that you met, and our daughter, we're tithers and we're givers. And we believe in just, blessing. And that's where a lot of the revenue that is generated through this channel goes. I use a lot of it. I'm blessing people with it. Now that is, by the way, that has nothing to do with whether or not, I'm sharing that with you because I want you to get the heart. Any gains that you're getting out of this space, guys, my encouragement is take some right off the very top, man, and bless somebody with it. Do something good in the world with it and watch and see the dividends that will pay. I have found it in my own life to be one of the greatest sources of financial favor that I have ever discovered. And that is the ability to just take that first initial amount. Now, a lot of people will use that 10%. Now, for me, 10% is just the beginning. But what I'm trying to share there is a principle about sowing and reaping, and I've experienced it in my own life. It's been one of my true secrets of genuine success and joy has been the ability to not hold, and I'll give you a few reasons. When you start to give, when you become a giver, money doesn't hold the same grasp on you that it once did. Gordon Gekko in that movie Wall Street came out and said, greed is good, right? Well, guys, I'm going to tell you something. There's a whole lot more motivators about obtaining wealth than greed. It's not just about greed. It's not just about personal consumption. There's people in the world that you reaching out into their life transforms their lives for generations. Can you imagine what it would do for a family that couldn't afford to send a child to college and maybe no one in the history of their family that as far back as they could think ever graduated with any kind of education, but you come along and you foot the bill for someone to actually go out and do that. It changes that family for generations to come, and it puts a value on education that may not have been there before. There's so many other ways. What about somebody who is suffering with some kind of curable disease, but because they can't afford the cure, it doesn't happen for them? And by the way, there's places right now today where you could donate to leprosy because there is a cure for leprosy, and people are suffering with that disease, but are unable to be cured because they don't have access to it and can't afford it. Well, that's what wealth is about, guys. It's about reaching out and doing something different in the lives of others in the world. Now, that has been my experience. So, hey. Yeah. Anyway, let's just take a look here. So I'm just reading some of the comments here and stuff like that. Guys, it has been a great pleasure. And I really hope you're getting value out of, this discussion and this live stream. You're a great community, and I really want each and every one of you to know. I wish I had the ability to reach out to a lot of you personally. There's times where I'm reading through the comments and, I'm seeing that there are some folks out there that are genuinely hurting. I'm thinking of Bronx Boy. Those of you that have been in the comments, you see that, he's struggling. And there's been other people that are out there saying, hey, look, I'm 60, I'm 70. I'm really trying to do this so that I can leave a heritage for my children and my grandchildren. And I'm going to tell you what, those are the real big reasons that it's important to do this. Now, guys, I want to give you, there's 4 P's that I go by. And the first one is perspective. You've got to have your dream before you. Now, we'll all say, hey, look, I want to get wealthy. Well, that's a goal, yes. But what is the why? Don't underestimate the power of purpose, your why for doing it, because that is what's going to get you through the hard times. Now, if you say, well, I want to get wealthy so that I can get out of debt because I've just been weighed down with this my whole life, that's a why. I want to be wealthy so that I can actually not work 80 hours a week and actually have time to spend with my children and my wife. That's a why. I want to be wealthy so that I can leave a heritage for my children and my grandchildren. That is a why. Keep your why before you. And hey, if your why is, that you want a Lambo, put that before you. But my point is this, you have got to have your purpose has to be clear. It can't be just arbitrary. And it can't be just, oh, well, I want to get wealthy. We used to say as kids, oh, what do you want to be? I want to be a millionaire when I grow up. Okay, how are you going to get there? You got to have that written down. I write down, Judy and I would literally write down our goals as we were traveling this space, and we would have what the goal was, what we were trying to reach, what we're wanting to do with it, all of that stuff. It is so vitally important to do that. And when you do that, it can be the tremendous difference of whether you succeed or you don't succeed. So having your why before you is absolutely vital, And so another one that you want to put in there is having the right perspective, right? Having the right perspective. Look down the road. Look long term. I know a lot of us are like, oh, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? But we haven't planned for when it happens, right? We don't have an exit strategy, if you would. We don't have an idea other than, oh, well, we can't wait to see that balance in our bank account. But I'm telling you, if it goes in fast like that, and it definitely could. But if it goes in fast like that, it usually is going to come out fast as well, because you have to have a strategy. You have to have a plan. How are you going to employ it? What are you going to use it for? Be specific and follow the plan. By the way, if you said when it hits this target, I'm taking 20% off the table, do it, because your emotions are going to want you to keep, well, what if it goes up higher? What if it goes up higher? And look, there's this old saying, bulls go up the stairs. Bears go out the window. It falls way faster than it goes up. That's usually the case. And so you don't want to be playing personal hangman. Remember that, whole game there where you draw the head and, and all that game hangman? And it becomes like that. And you start walking over a trap door. But if you have a great exit strategy already in play, and I can, talk about that, how to develop a good exit strategy and, make it personal, how that might work for you and stuff like that, then you have a strategy. And you have to have that both as you enter your positions and as you exit the positions. Whether you're doing calls, whether you're doing puts, whether you're long or shorting, you know what I mean? You've got to have a plan, and you've got to stick to that plan. That's something I've learned very early on. Now, I'm just taking a look at the comments here. There we go. So guys, how are we doing? Is there anything you guys really want to talk to or talk about in a big way before because I think we've been on this live stream now for, well, it's almost been 2 hours, and we'll go for another 15 minutes and give you guys a chance to just get your last little thoughts out there. And because I want you guys to get the most out of this, And let me just go back into the comments here and see if I can't find a great question. Wow, Travis, that is an amazing revelation to put that out there. That cost you over $600K in profits last bull run, waiting for alt season that never came. Yep, that has happened to a lot of people. Now, remember, for me even, look, I pulled out half, but I left a lot in too. And so, yeah, it's kind of tough when you see your portfolio up there in the 7 figures, man. You drops down into the 6 figures and stuff like that. But look, Travis, I will say this. For every bear market, there's another bull market. Hold, and you're going to see another shot at this right here. That 600K, you're going to get another shot at it. I genuinely believe that. But you're going to have the addition of wisdom and knowledge and experience when you do. And that's going to be a really great. Let's just take a look here. Yeah, Baru, I think. Hit the like button to show that. Yeah, hit that like button. Absolutely. Yeah, sow and reap. Absolutely. Well, you know what's crazy is my coffee today, DVR. I forgot to put my cinnamon in there. Yeah, maybe that would have calmed me down a bit. I don't know. But it is great. Let's just take a look here. All right. Hey, I see some other folks on here I want to give some shout outs to. Let me just take a look here. Truth is Within. I love you too, man. Montreal is a great spot. Been there. Beautiful, beautiful place. Well, Sporting Female Legends asking a question. She's saying, hi, David. Couldn't they just use their own coins with an XRP ledger? Well, it depends on who. The central bank digital currencies will be private ledgers, but XRP itself is the native bridge asset. And the XRP ledger was built for XRP. And as such, Ripple is utilizing XRP as the bridge currency. Remember this, guys, XRP is not taking the place of central bank digital currencies. XRP is utilizing that central bank digital currency infrastructure to be a bridge asset that does away with Nostro Vostro, and it brings in that on-demand liquidity. That is the native asset. So that's how that goes. Let's just take a look here. All right. Yes, Coach Boone says, David, you delegating your Songbird? I am delegating Songbird. Now, this is something we haven't really talked about yet today. But having said this, I want to talk about one of the most amazing things about this space that has been just a tremendous blessing in my life, and that is this. When I was holding my XRP, Flare took a snapshot. I think it was on December 12th of 2020, somewhere in that neighborhood. They took a snapshot of the XRP ledger. And what they had decided to do at the beginning was every 1-to-1, they were going to give you Flare tokens. Well, as it turned out, as this has progressed, basically what they did is they gave out also a distribution of Songbird tokens and allowing you to actually interact with a canary, and that's what they call it, a canary ecosystem, which is a testing ecosystem for the Flare networks. And of course, being a totally decentralized finance platform, when you stake it and you're actually delegating it, you're compounding your gains, because what's happening, you're being paid out in Songbird and bit by bit SFIN. And with respect to SFIN, there is such a limited supply. And you utilize that through the Bifrost wallet. Now, when Flare comes, it is going to be truly amazing. Now, when they were initially going to distribute the Flare, I remember when Flare was almost $2 a token. And the value that I was receiving was absolutely monumental. I could say, but I don't want to say because it was a big, big, big amount. But needless to say, that was an airdrop. I only got it just because I was holding XRP. Now, I want to share something else about staking. So, of course, we know some of these ecosystems, not a lot, but some are proof of stake ecosystems. So you got, pure proof of stake on Algorand. You've got Cardano, which is proof of stake. Of course, Ethereum proof of stake. But when I was picking up my Cardano, I staked it. Well, I made enough in staking rewards to literally see a 100% return in staking alone. And so all of that gain that I made in Cardano cost me absolutely zero. Now you tell me, where in the world are you going to get that in traditional markets? You are not. And the reason they do that, guys, is this: we are early. We are pioneers. It may feel like everybody knows about this, but the reality is no, everybody does not know about this. And because they don't know, they're not stepping out of the water. And look, what is the measured risk, right? So if you got folks that are invested in the traditional markets and they're reading those markets and putting in their calls and puts and whatever and trading it, ask yourself this: would it be such a big risk to take just a few $1,000s? How about what would your guys feel like if you were a traditional market trader and you took, like I did, maybe $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 and invested into Cardano, and 1 year later watched the value of that $4,000 climb to over $310,000? I experienced that. And not only that, that the staking rewards that you got out of it were double what you invested. So every ounce of profit literally cost you nothing. Now you tell me where you're going to see that in traditional markets. Now that does not mean that there is no value in traditional markets. There is, because they're a lot more secure. Number one, let's be honest, this crypto space has extreme volatility, to be sure, but it's that same volatility that allows us the opportunity to see some mesmerizing gains, and it is truly something else. Let's just take a look. Okay, let's see here. All right, we got about 10 more minutes left. I could do a video on how to stake and stuff like that, but you know what I'm going to do, guys? I am going to be starting a members platform on YouTube itself. And, you know, I'll have the lower ones there, the badges and stuff like that, but I am going to start doing you know, a basic instructional course between now and December that you could employ possibly to learn about how to stake, how to do these different things. I'm kind of gauging that right now because I'm just thinking about some different options that are there. But hey, look, if some of them don't pan out, then I'm going to be venturing out to do a few other things, but we're going to see how things flow. But needless to say, it is important to have that. So if I do that, if that does happen and it comes down the road, then I'll let you know where that platform is going to be and what it will look like. But definitely we need to have some educational stuff happening in this space in a big way, because the opportunities, truly amazing opportunities. There is so much potential and there's so many facets. I mean, you've got basically layer ones and you got layer twos. You got the decentralized ecosystems that you can be a part of. There's always the staking, the yield farming. You know, you're dealing with NFT space. I mean, there is just such a multiplicity of avenues to actually invest in and to make some amazing gains in this space. It is truly crazy. And so having said that, there's a lot of material that can be put out there to the benefit of this entire community. Absolutely, zero doubt. So T. Kelly's asking, where do I stake my ADA? Well, you know what? I keep my ADA on my cold storage wallet and I delegate it through that cold storage wallet vis-a-vis ADA Lite. And I actually get my rewards from there. Now, I know that people can do it on exchanges, centralized exchanges, but to do that, you have to give up your private keys. Well, you don't have to give up your private keys to see the same level of gains. You can actually get them from delegating it yourself through your cold storage wallet. And that's how I do it. So there we go. All right. So what's your opinion on XRP hitting and staying at a specific amount overnight when the switch is flipped in order to stabilize cross-border payments? Well, number one, I think when this whole ecosystem is in full bore, going forward, then it's going to have to hold there's going to have to be a floor, obviously, of the price. But like any other commodity, it's going to be traded and it's going to have, some fluctuation there. But let's be honest, look at the price of gold, right? Gold is always going to have value no matter what. Gold is probably always going to have value. It probably is never going to go to absolute zero, but needless to say, you're going to have a floor base for it. Now, for me, I think that floor has to be over 3 figures just because of the value that's going to be transacted on it. Now, I know a lot of folks are even saying, hey, it could go to the 5 or the 6 figures. And in reality, it could, depending upon how you measure that valuation. But for me, I'm definitely, if we were to stay within the current fiat kind of peg system, initially, I'm going to say for sure, this next bull run, I genuinely believe that we will see a 3-figure XRP in this next bull run. You look at that last fractal. I mean, when you're considering the last bull run went from just over half a penny to $3.84, I mean, that is mesmerizing, and it wouldn't even have to do that big a fractal to get to a 3-figure XRP from where it's sitting right now. It is truly something else. Now, it's my personal conviction. But look, to get to that 3-figure thing, it's going to be bang, bang. No, there's going to be ladders up. And at that point, that's where your exit strategy comes into play. You're buying it right now at what, 40 cents, 50 cents, 38 cents? Okay, so when it hits $3, $4, $5, how much do you want to ladder out? When it goes from 5 to 15, 25, how much do you want to ladder out? When it goes from 25 to like 50 or 60, how much do you want to ladder out? And when it goes over, so you see what I'm saying? You need to decide. Like, look, there are folks that aren't going to sell any ever because they're going to actually lease it out themselves. But for me, I'm looking at it, okay, I need to have a strategy in place and then follow my conviction. I will always have XRP on the side. Look, last bull run, I was so convicted that I thought, there's no way even with a 10X, I am not letting it go for $1.97. Absolutely no chance. Why? Because at that time, I was really feeling that it could potential that if that case had settled and they started buying all the XRP up off the market, it might not be as available as it is right now to get it. And in fact, even right now, it's even hard to get. We know that Ripple is buying XRP back off the open market, and that, you got financial institutions that are starting to accumulate and hold XRP in reserve. So for me, I look at it from those perspectives. All right. The reason for that, about why exchanges are canceling use and all that, it's about control. It is all about control. Look, don't kid yourself. This whole lawsuit on XRP was strategic. I mean, you just look at the background information that was used to bring this lawsuit and how Ethereum was given a free pass. We all can see it. It's as clear as the nose on our face. But to me, it is strategic. And a lot of these, look, in Canada, they even limited the amount of crypto assets an individual can buy in the year. Doesn't matter what exchange they use. And I think the max is like a $30,000 investment. Here we have the government limiting, even if you're an accredited investor, how much you can put into that. I'm telling you, this overreach from these socialist governments around the world, and they literally controlling the free market. That is a level of fascism now, is it? Tantamount to what happened in World War II type fascism? Well, not yet. But the fact is, it is not right for the government to go in there and limit the amounts of what people can utilize with their own money and buy these assets. If they want to make them illegal, then ban them altogether. Now, I don't think they'll do that. But the fact that they're limiting average folks to the maximum of what you can invest, that to me is a big brother scenario. I am not in favor of that at all. Not 100%. I'm not in favor of that. But I believe that is what's going on there in the UK. You're seeing policy being played out. Yep, $30K a year. Now, someone is saying you have to trust the institutions, yes, and they will break up your keys. Well, they very well might. I think institutional custody is going to come forward as this space gets bigger and we move into more regulatory clarity. And guys, listen, let's be honest. We want regulation. I mean, we don't want the Wild West forever. I mean, because with regulation comes a lot more security for the average folks to get in. Right now, hey, this is amazing space to see some amazing gains. When we start seeing mass adoption coming in with regulations that are going to just build more and more security from an institutional level for, your 401ks and all of these various retirement investment hedge funds and all that, when that starts to happen, do you think you're going to see the wild gains that you're seeing now? The 10x, the 50x, the 100x? No chance. You'll be lucky to see like a 1 to 2x, 1 or 200%. More likely, you're going to start trending. Over time, you'll see that, but it'll be over a longer period of time. We're talking like a 5-10 year window where you're going to see go from where you are to a 100% return on your investment. And I want you to think about this too. Really interesting little exercise. How long would it take you? How many trades would it take you to take $1,000 and turn it into $1 million? Well, if each trade got you a 100% return, it would take you 10 trades to get to $1 million. If you took everything you had and you made 100% and you reinvested that, made 100%, it takes 10 trades. Well, break that up over time, right? Break that trade up over time where, you're only getting 14%. Well, now it might take you, if you get 10%, right, on every trade on $1,000, take you 100 trades at 10% to get to $1 million. So you see, guys, you have to think in those kind of terms. That's why trading can actually be majorly beneficial when it comes to life-changing wealth rather than only hodling. Now, For me, yes, I invest and I hodl, but I also look at the potential opportunity with trading because trading can make a major difference. And if you learn the skills that you need to trade in an effective way, whether it's in the traditional market or in this market, it could be absolutely life-changing. And that's where you need to get a basis for technical analysis. You need to get a basis for the fundamental analysis and how to look at, how to pick out the winners and why, right? And you need to know sentiment. Now, other people I've heard call that market tone, but sentiment, those three, they matter the most. Obviously, you're going to throw in the mix there, fractals and previous price action. And timing the market, man, it is nigh on impossible, to pick the top or to pick the bottom. It is, it's not impossible, but it's a real, if you get it, it's like getting a hole in one on the golf course, right? But look, it's not impossible to pick low values. And we all know the buy low, sell high, but do you know what? Most folks don't do it. Most folks don't educate themselves with the disciplines to know how to do that. And look, I am right now just thinking about projects that are out there that can provide this kind of potential, and we'll see where those go. But either way, come the new year, I will be putting stuff together for us that is going to help us to get down that road, because I think from a community point of view, there are so many opportunities that we can benefit. And as we move into the spring of 2023, and what I see is a potential equities boom and crypto boom from 2023 to 2024, I want us all to be ready to ride those waves. It is going to be truly something else. Well, guys, I think we've just hit that. It's like 12 noon and, I've really enjoyed it, and I want to say thank you so much. And hey, let's just do a quick refresher of some stuff here before I go. And just to put it out there, I'm going to close this one off here. We're going to go back over here and going to open up some stuff here. Let me just give me just a second, get this all set up here. Okay. And all right, I want to go right here. Okay, perfect. There we go. Get that going. Put that there, and just do a refresher there. Okay, and let's see here if I can't get this here. Okay. And I am going to throw an image over top here. So just give me 2 seconds. Let me just get something out here because I want to put this on there as well. Boom, there we go. I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to browse over here and go to, boom, there. Thank you guys for your patience. Want to get this ready here. Nope, that's not what I want. Let me go back here. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. Okay. Okay. Ooh, actually, let me see. So what I'm doing here is I'm just getting some stuff kind of set up on OBS so that I can show it to y'all and put it out in a good way. And I'm just adding something right now. Let me just take a look here. Right in there. Okay, and let's just see. Okay, good. All right, right in here. There we go. Add that right there. Okay, perfect. This is looking good, I think. All right, there we are. Okay, all right. Oh, let me just do this here. Right there. Okay. Let's see if I can't bring that down to right into there. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, and I'm going to take this and put it just there. Is that right? No, I want it right there. Okay, good enough. Okay. All right, guys. So let's just do a recap, a bit of a recap before we go so that we can all see this. So here we go. All right, and I'm going to just take that one. Okay. So here we go. Move over. All right, guys. So as a celebration for moving over that 10K threshold, there's the Discord right in there. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just put in that link in the comments again to invite people to join this and be a part of this space so that they can have that. Let me just show that and view. There we are, the chat. Where are we here? There it is. Okay, let me just hear. Where's my chat box? Oh my gosh, it's like taken off on me. There we are. Okay, right here. Okay, boom. Okay, so here we are. There's the link to the Discord in there. And I really hope you guys are able to get in there and just enjoy it and have a lot of just a great experience. I'll be in there from time to time, obviously, and we've got some great moderators in there that are a part of this chat right now, and so that's fantastic. And another thing too, guys, we have got, let me just close that off. We have got, the store in there. If you're wanting to get your XRP hat to match my symbol, I literally copied this over, put it on here. And of course, we've got the coffee cups for our coffee chat that you can get into. Now there's other things in here. And if any of you know what Spread Shop is like, this is where you just upload your stuff and they put it on their products and stuff like that. But hey, I've ordered some stuff up here myself and it comes in really quick and it's really great stuff. And go on there and get some of this stuff. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. And if you buy one of these cups and you've got it and we're doing coffee chat, email me a picture and to david@thedigitaloutlook.com. You email me a picture and I will put your picture on our coffee chats and give you a shout out. So that would be really a lot of fun to do, truly. But that's something else that we launched. And of course, guys, we are launching the potential coaching, right? So if you want personal coaching and you want me to go through, your portfolio, sit with you, and like I said, do a one-on-one Zoom meeting with you, scheduled at whatever time works well for you. And like I said, if you're in the UK, France, Germany, Australia, South America, or even here at home, whatever time works for you, your local time, I will give you that 1 hour Zoom. And hey, it's not just for you. If you have your wife or kids or whatever, and you can have other people, I'll answer your questions and I'll be having that time dedicated for you. And before that meeting, you can email me stuff so that we can have everything prepared and maximize the time that we have. And like I said, I only have a limited number that I'm doing there, guys. I can't do any more than 25. It would be too much. And that's between now and the end of December. So you email me there. It's for $250 and just giving you that time and an amazing amount of those resources. And you email me in advance and I'll make sure we have it all together to go with that. And that would be really great. So that's all there. Well, guys, I truly have enjoyed my time with you. The comments that I've gotten here are just so amazing. And yeah, I guess my wife came on and said, hey, it's his birthday tomorrow. So look, let me just say I've enjoyed it all so much. And just to give shout outs like Jerry, I'm just going to go in here and see if I can't pull some shout outs for some folks here. I'm just going to take the chat here and see if I can't pull this down because it's kind of stuck on this window here. Okay, there we go. But I'm going to go back. Well, I can't hear you, John, singing happy birthday, but I'm sure glad you did. That's awesome. Just take a look. I'm going to go all the way back up to the top so what I can see. So I see Jerry Check, Verhooten Fluten, Chocolate Toddler, Blue Dynamite. It's only me at 1612. Tracks to relax. Awesome. Let's just go down and see. Gino at Aces Up, Kodakor, Sporting Female Legends, Old Man Crypto. Hey, I like that one. That's a great one. I like that one. Coach Boone, another great one. I like that. Kelly Ramsey. Guys, just Escalade. Yeah, I've seen, great comments in the comments, by the way. Sheikh Alam. Hey, that is awesome. Hey, I've been over to Dubai. I loved Dubai. Amazing, amazing. And in 30 years, that city has come up That is truly something else. J-Stars, we've got George Scott, Rad. Hey, man, I didn't see you earlier. I'm so glad you made it into the live stream. I'm very happy about that. You're a great supporter. At Code Deluxe, Mitch Carr. Now, I think I got John Filius in there, but Mitch Carr, hey, thanks. Happy birthday to me too. Yes, thank you. King Boss and Wordzen. So something on HBAR. I love Hedera Hashgraph. I've got some great videos on Hedera Hashgraph on the channel. Plus, I got some coming up. Hedera Hashgraph is probably one of the best ecosystems out there. I mean, you're talking 10,000 transactions per second. And it's not blockchain. It's a direct acyclic graph. And you can take a look and find out a little bit what it is. But just go to hedera.com. Take a look at who owns and governs Hedera, and that'll be a big eye-opener right there. Big one. DVR, Rick Stiggers, thank you so much, man. You guys are awesome, by the way. You're the awesome guys. Johnny Garcia, the good gorilla. Wow, that's awesome, man. That's a good one. Brad Tays, fantastic guys. A-Hill 1. I'm going to just say, because I don't know what they stand for when people put in just the letters and if it doesn't form a word. Sir Photography, of course. I don't know, do we mention King Boss? Eric Wallace. Yeah, there's lots of potential, Eric. Lots. Don't kid yourself. Even small. I know it sounds crazy, guys, but I watch people put in $700 and walk away with over $70,000. I am not joking. It is truly fun. It almost defies belief, but I've watched it happen. Martez Ramirez, Philip Vo. Yes, hopefully next year. I'm believing it will be. Now, hey, remember this, guys. Nothing I say here is really financial advice. These are my personal thoughts and opinions, and I'm sharing them with you. And look, I'm not about to say, hey, this is a guaranteed. I don't have that fiduciary responsibility here. Well, it's not that I don't take some level of making sure, but look, I am biased. I'm biased in this space because I've experienced it. And these are my thoughts and opinions, to be sure. And now, you may agree and you may disagree, and that's okay. And if this space is for you, perfect. If it's not, that's all right too. This is just something I bring out. I'm sharing because of what it did for me and what I can see it's done for others and what I believe it's going to do in the future. And you can just, it's kind of like this. You can put a meal before someone, but they decide what they're going to eat off their plate. We're not spoon feeding it, All right. Jamie L. Wouldn't the billions that come in from institutional money after regular? Yes, I believe it would. I believe it definitely would. But they're buying it up now. Don't kid yourself. They're buying it up now. Just giving them a few more shout outs here. Snowball's in there. We got Paul Fitton in here. Thank you for that. Happy birthday wish, Paul. Bronx Boy. I'm glad you're in and you're here. Man, listen, I am praying for you. I do believe that things are going to change in your life. One word from God can literally transform a whole situation. Now, I've seen it. Now, sometimes, he allows us to go through some stuff because it's growing. He's stretching us. Why did God make Abraham wait 25 plus years, right, before he gave him his promise? But the thing is this, Abraham, he considered the fact, the Bible says, that, his body was as good as dead, right? Because he was about 100 years old, and Sarah was, she had stopped the childbearing years. But he didn't waver in unbelief, right? He accepted his circumstances, but his confidence wasn't in the circumstances. The reason Abraham had hope is he believed that God had the power to do what he had promised. That's what the Bible teaches us. And that's how we move in faith. Faith is not like blind, luck or wishing. No, faith is a mixture of belief and trust. And whose responsibility is it to keep a promise? The one who received the promise or the one who made the promise? Well, if it's the one who made the promise, then my confidence is absolutely secure because I know who God is. He is slow to anger, rich in mercy, and loving towards all he has made. That's been my experience. So I can believe it. All right. Hey, Adam Street. Hey, from Sweden. Hey, thanks for stopping in and spending this time with us. Appreciate that. Travis Ford, MMX0001, MMX0002. Wow, that is quite a handle. Glad you're here. Mar Ryan, Andre, Now, hey, Andre, I'm going to check this one out. Tikhonov. Am I right? Now, listen, my wife spent a lot of time over in Belarus and Ukraine, over 12 years. And she came back and said, look, honey, this is all you need to know how to say. Da and ya tibia lublю. Now, for a woman, she's going to get that. That's all you need to know. One means yes, and the other means I love you. That's what that means. All right, so happy birthday. Thank you, Johnny. M Theory, Kevin Wyatt, Blue Dynamite, Paul Dedu, got Donnie Cross, all these guys. So guys, thank you so much for being a part of this celebration of us moving into this space and getting over that 10,000 subscribers. Really value all of y'all. And I just hope that you have a great rest of your weekend. We're going to have some amazing videos out next week. And I'm so happy for you to be a part of my experience and this community. I look forward to it. I look forward to the comments. I look forward to the interaction. And I can't wait. And boy, do I wish we were able to have everybody on a massive Zoom so we could actually talk to one another. But as an alternative, remember, we have got this new Discord. We can do it here. We can connect here. We can interact here in live comments and discussions. And we even have voice chat in here. And from time to time, we'll definitely do that. And by the way, guys, I will be putting, so we have voice chat, and I will be putting, my videos will be posted in this space in here, right in there, YouTube videos. They're going to be going in there and that kind of stuff. Now here, I do have a section where we're going to be able to put VIP some stuff in there. Portfolio, my portfolio, what it looks like. And, you know, you'll be able to see my trades and stuff like that. And we'll take a look at what membership section will look like for that and all that kind of stuff. Now, after this live stream, I'm going to hop onto this Discord and be able to respond to some comments and stuff like that, and to just start, you know, our crypto discussion and our general thanks. But guys, thank you so much. I really have enjoyed this entire time. I appreciate you all so much, and I'm glad that you're a part of this community. And I think we're going to see some exciting things happen together. And so, guys, I'm going to sign off right now, but I want you to know I've enjoyed it thoroughly, and I just really wish you all the best for the rest of your weekend. All right, guys, take care. And I'm gonna hop over to the Discord for a few minutes, and then I'll be over there in a few minutes. But hey, enjoy, and just been great, super, and thanks so much. Great discussion, enjoyed it, and I hope to see you around next week on the YouTube, in the comments, and in the Discord. And hey guys, remember, you buy a mug, take your picture, send it over to me, and we'll get it up on our coffee chats. And for those of you that are interested in the coaching, right here, there's the email to do it. You just email that there, and we will work it out. So guys, all the best, and have a great rest of your weekend. Take care.